set, George?
All set.
Oh.
Showtime.
Good.
You guys good?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
All right, it's 6:30, so let's get started. I'd like to welcome all to the June ZBA meeting. Noreen, would you like to do a roll call, please?
Of course. My computer stuff. Kevin Scully,
Present.
Chip Postiglione,
Here.
Steve Thaw,
Here.
John Seeley,
Here.
Zach Murphy.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please rise to the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And please make note of the fire exits, door there and the door a lot of these came in from. All right, first up tonight is a public hearing for Di.
Okay, he is not here. He probably thinks we're still 7 o'clock. So we have two of our other cheers who want to move on with to him.
All right. We're finally tune machine, stuff like this just throws me off. All right, next up, public hearing, Rutledge. How's it going? State your name, please.
June.
Speak up, please.
June.
All right. You
Romel
are?
Lasso,
Excuse me?
contractor. Romel Lasso, contractor.
Okay. How you guys doing tonight, all right?
Yeah.
Just answer the because there's no microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries.
You can hear us in a while.
All right, you want to give us, well, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to open up this public hearing.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Like to give us a recap of exactly why you're here?
Yeah, so unfortunately we let the variance that was granted expire, and we are trying to get back, to completing that process by getting the building permit and closing out that project there. So in order to do that, we need to get the extension of the variance, and after that, Ben Maldonado takes over for the inspections and getting the permit closed.
And I think last month you were here, we asked for photos, correct?
Yep, so we dropped off some of the interior photos of some of the stuff that gets stored in there.
Are these all the photos we asked for? Did we ask for other photos, or am I thinking of another project?
I believe it was just the interior of the shed.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had exterior.
Are there any photos of the level below?
No, I don't think we provide any of that. It's just like a small crawl space with 3/4 stone. That's the base.
You can stand in it? In
It has a full-size door, right?
No, it has I think it's about a 60-inch door. I can fit in there, but
but not all the way.
it's on a level.
Yeah, yeah,
So at the beginning, you can stand in, but towards the end, you have a lower, higher grade, yeah.
I'm looking at these photos.
Okay, 6'6".
And I know this was approved before.
Yeah, and can I get a reminder of what exactly is we're voting on?
Yeah, so, reopen the public hearing. So it's an unusual position,
section of the code, the provision that says when you have an extension, you have to request a rehearing in order to get an extended period of time to complete the improvements. So the hearing is just, this is a rehearing on the original application, and it's simply to extend whether he should be, the time should be extended for him to complete the improvements.
Yeah, if you look on the package, it'll tell you what the variance granted was. And we granted it, they let it slip, that's their bad, nothing to do with us. And so, just like council said, and it's probably too late, but I think I might have said this when we were approving the variance. My main concern is that this is a shed, right? So is there, and what's done is done, that we give approval and then down the road this becomes a living area? Nothing we can do about it. Is there?
That becomes an enforcement issue, because
Yeah.
you're not allowed to, that would be prohibited by code, it would be an enforcement issue.
Right.
Certainly, by your grant of the variance, you were not granting a use variance to allow a two-family residence or to allow a habitable second structure on the premises. It's just an accessory structure. The application actually was not specifically for a shed, it was for an accessory structure,
Yeah.
which is permitted under the code.
Yep, okay. Because it just looks more than a shed to me.
Yeah.
But what's done is done. So, anyone on the board here have any questions besides what you were just asking, Kevin?
No.
All right, if there's no questions from us, is there anyone in the audience that has any concern or comment on this project? Seeing nobody. I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to close this public hearing.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So Dave, this is a little unusual for us, so
It is.
do we just approve it? I mean, the five factors don't come into play?
I don't think that they do, unless, maybe you could talk for a minute or two to see if there's any change in any material change in circumstances that would warrant a different result, that are relevant to the five factors. If anybody is aware of any material change in circumstances, we can talk about that and whether that is, even relevant given what I read in the code about, where we stand on this.
Right.
But if nobody thinks that there's any material change in circumstance, then I think there's just a motion to grant the extension, an extended period of time to complete the improvements. You're basically extending the variance.
Right. And what is that period of time?
I think it's discretionary. I think he's completed all the improvements, so I think if you gave him, a day, he could probably get it done, but I think the idea is he needs time. All he needs is to be able to tell the building inspector that the variances are now no longer expired, they're in full force and effect, and then the building inspector can issue him a CO or a certificate of compliance or whatever it is.
Where do you stand on it? Or are you ready?
Yeah, so all Ben needs is, as you mentioned, the extension to be approved, and then we will accept the as-built plans that we put together, and I'm assuming he'll come out, do a final inspection, and provide a CO.
And that'll be happening with,
As long as he's available,
No, you've got to get him the plan, everything, and give him the notice.
Exactly.
Okay.
Is there a particular period of time that you're asking for the extension?
I don't think anything in particular, but I would think just however long Ben needs to, look through the plans, and, he's already seen the as-built, and he, gave us an okay on it, but.
So can we put a time frame of a week, 2 weeks, a month?
Excuse me,
I'd give a little bit more than that, just
But
We give them 30 days to get.
30 days, 60 days, you know,
Mr. Chairman,
enough time so he doesn't have to come back if people aren't available. But go ahead, Maureen.
I know that the building department is extremely busy right now.
Aren't we all?
I know, but you get out on inspections, I think they're out a couple weeks,
Right,
so I wouldn't make it too short of a time frame. Otherwise they'll be back again.
yeah.
60 days.
Yeah, all right, so 60 days. Because remember, this is all your fault, right? This is brought upon by yourselves. This isn't the town, this isn't anything that we did. We went through due process. We've given you approval on your variances to go ahead, and you guys drag your feet. So I think 60 days is fair. So I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve this variance with a stipulation of 60 days to get this completed.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That would be a date of August 24th, 2025. That's 60 days from tonight.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we can get the, I guess, Ben just needs the extension letter, if we can get that to him, that's all he really needs to start the process.
I can prepare something, but, Noreen, you'll have the minutes. I mean, the extension's been granted
Right.
now, and I can do a resolution. If Ben somehow needs that before it's prepared, somebody will let me know. You'll have it at the right time,
Okay.
whenever he needs it.
All righty? All right, thank you. I'd also like to go ahead and make a motion to have council prepare with all due documentation, resolutions going forward.
And authorize the chairman to sign.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Take care.
Close the public hearing.
Second that,
Huh? It's a weird one. Yeah, it is.
Okay, so Mr. Zickerman is not here either. Again, they're probably thinking,
So, who did Guy come in?
no.
No?
So
Okay.
we have Aaron Zimmerman is here.
Zickerman is not here?
No, I don't notice him here either, but they might be thinking 7
Okay.
o'clock.
All
So
right.
by the time we get to the other ones, maybe he'll be here.
All right, you know, Noreen, I don't like to deviate from the
I
plan.
know, because you're all confused. So you have Aaron Zimmerman
Yes,
here, we have Paul.
All right, we'll move on to new projects coming up.
Huh?
Zimmerman.
No, I know, we have
Yeah,
Aaron
yeah,
Paul here, I'm
yeah.
not gonna try Paul's last name.
So we'll go to Aaron Zimmerman.
Sorry. He's such a troublemaker.
What was that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. How you doing, guys? All right, let me just see
Dan, my mic is getting set up. Did you get the email regarding the other application that you're working with Rocky Man on for a Zoom call?
Yes, I got the email requesting a technical meeting.
Are you available the 26th at 11 o'clock?
I believe so, I'll double check. Is it by Zoom or is it?
Yeah, it's gonna be by Zoom.
I respond to it.
Well, that's what Aaron is, Aaron. Yiddy is like, I have to wait for answers, and I'm like,
Oh, I didn't know he was asking for, I thought he was asking you.
no, I sent him the date and time, and then he says hello to me, and I'm like, I don't know what
I
the
totally misunderstood the email. I thought he was asking you if they were
No,
available.
now he said he's responding to you guys.
I already have it penciled in my
You
account.
see this? Okay.
I'm gonna say yes, that's all.
Okay, great, thank you.
This is for
We got-
45. See this project?
The new one that he just put, yeah, something, 5 or something.
How you guys doing?
Good, how about yourself?
Doing well, doing well. State your names, please.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. For the record, my name is Dan Richmond. I'm with the law firm Zarin & Steinmetz.
And my name is Michael Morganti. I'm the project engineer for this application.
We're here on referral from the planning board seeking relief from conditions imposed by your board about 25 years ago when this lot was created pursuant to a subdivision. By way of background, in 2000, this board granted a variance from New York State Town Law 288, which regards construction on approved roads, and imposed 3 conditions: that the entire length of Dry Hill Lake Road be extended to 22.5 feet, that storm drains that it said exist along Dry Hill Lake Road be lowered and resurface Dry Hill Lake. To our knowledge, these actions have not been taken, as Mr. Morgante will explain. We had a preliminary discussion at the site with the fire chief, who indicated that they've responded to calls on Dry Hill Lake Road with no issues. We're requesting relief from your board from these conditions because, as a practical matter, it doesn't appear feasible to widen the road or to do the other measures, including the reasons Michael explained, that whether or not the drains even exist. But they would require the cooperation of multiple landowners along Dry Hill Lake Road, which does not appear to be forthcoming. And so,
Can I just slow you down a second?
yes, sir.
So you're saying that this board granted a variance in what year?
2000.
2000?
Yes.
And the variance was for?
From Town Law 288.
Yep. Okay. And to date, did you say nothing was done to the road?
I don't know if nothing was done, but there were specific conditions associated by your board, conditions imposed that would be widened to a certain length, that could resurface, and that's drains that, as Michael explained, don't appear to exist, be addressed. And to our knowledge, none of those conditions have been imposed. The road's not been widened, it's not, I'm not gonna,
Okey-doke.
So, to be specific, Mr. Chairman, on September 13, 2000, that's the date of the resolution that I have. It says that the applicant will widen the entire length of Dry Hill Lake Road to 22.5 feet. They will lower the storm drains which presently exist along Dry Hill Lake Road, so they will be below grade and function as storm drains, allowing water to drain as required. And they will resurface Dry Hill Lake Road from the northwest property line of Lot 1, as shown in the above referenced sketch plan, which is part of the resolution, through the cul-de-sac terminus at the southeastern end of Dry Hill Lake Road, 6 inches of compacted item 4 is shown in the sketch.
Mike, can you talk a little bit? Thank you.
So, in
So
essence,
lot 1 is right off of Orchard Drive, correct? Right?
so there were the 2 lots that were subject, we believe are subject to that resolution. Essentially, this lot here in the tax application now is 14.1, and this one is 14.22.
Right.
That's lot 1.
Right, I'm going back to where you, in your statement there, that the applicant will do work to the road from lot 1
All the way through.
Right, and you refer to a cul-de-sac?
Right now,
There's no cul-de-sac.
there is a cul-de-sac there, but it's gravel. It's gravel and gravel. So it's paved, the road is paved roughly to about this location right here, probably the beginning of lot 14, somewhere in that, and it turns into a item 4 road, and then there is a cul-de-sac, and the tax map's not reflecting the proper location.
I'm very familiar with this project. I grew up in lot 12, right across the street from lot 1.
Okay.
So I know Dry Hill Lake Road very well. I know the lot very well. We used to fish that pond. So, you know, as you get down to the end where Dry Hill meets Orchard, to say that that's paved it's kind of choppy, crappy there.
No, it's not. I visited the site yesterday.
Yeah.
There's-
So when was that, any idea when that was repaved?
I would suspect it might have been a part of this particular resolution back in 2000. So it might be 20 to 25 years old.
Yeah.
However, I will note that there's only 2 potholes that currently exist on the entire road.
Yeah.
And the road is probably varies between about 17 to 18 feet wide.
Right.
Overall, in generally good shape. I met with the fire chief out there a few months ago because I wanted to get a feel for what the services feel about this. He noted to me at the time that he responded to several fires on that road and had no issues with access to get to any of those sites. I discussed with him if there were any things that he would like to see improved on the road, and he noted just the 2 potholes we filled.
Right.
There's only 2 potholes there. This portion of Driveway Lake Road on this side is actually curved. Driveways are curved with a small asphalt curb to prevent water from draining, particularly into those particular properties.
Right.
There's only 2 catch basins that I could, actually 1 catch basin alone on Driveway Lake Road that I could find, that was visible. That's noted right here, I have a little red dot. It's just about the end of lot 1. You can see the red dot where I'm pointing right there. That particular catch basin connects to another catch basin that's at the intersection of Driveway Lake Road and Orchard Drive. And all of the runoff from this particular road travels via sheet flow either down to this particular catch basin here and or that one there. And it's been doing this for probably as long as you've lived there.
Yeah. Like, you know, it's none of my business, but it never worked and our basement would flood. So,
I
just,
mean, I couldn't
I'm just saying.
comment on that.
Yeah, it just used to run down that road, the basins never worked, and would run right through it, but that's neither here nor there. So did you say, or did I mishear, during this application, that the owner is willing to do work to the road? Did you say
I
that?
think what we're looking for is relief from anything that the owner might be required to do on this road as it relates to this resolution before the board. Whatever the work was that was required to develop this particular lot right here and get a CO was never completed. Nothing was done to this road. It was
What
never-
lot were you just pointing to?
14.1, I believe.
14.1?
So a CO was granted for that as a condition of that CO. These road improvements were supposed to have been made. They were never made. There is no widening of that road. There is no pavement of the cul-de-sac. There are no catch basins to either raise and adjust to allow for proper drainage. So I'm not even understanding where this resolution came from. At least, again, nothing was visible when I visited the site. I've been there 3 different times.
Yeah. Is lot 14.1 has a home?
Correct.
Does 14.21 have a home?
It does.
It does.
Who was the applicant in 2000?
Sure.
It was abusive, because it was called
John
John.
Busey.
So it wasn't Mr. Zimmerman?
No.
That's,
Wasn't there something in front of us? Kevin, I'm gonna go to you, because you're a senior man here. Wasn't there something in front of us on this lot?
I don't ever
To
remember
do-
anything on Dry Lake.
Let me finish my question.
Oh,
On lot 3, I guess they're calling it, right? There's a pond.
That's not lot 3, it's lot 14.22, that's block number 3.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Thank
okay,
you,
okay.
yeah. So there's a pond, and then on the, where's your north arrow? North straight up? On the north side of the pond, or the top side of the pond, isn't there a little, I don't know, a bit of a concrete runoff
Still there.
that was under question, didn't, something was in front of us not too long ago where work had to be done to that, and
Trade
did it come with Translink where,
There, the drainage leak, which would be right there, did need work because of water damage to their foundation.
so you know what I'm speaking of there, up top by the 3 there's some type of concrete, not dam, but
It's a
runoff.
Yeah, I can guide you through that. So right here, there's a concrete spillway.
Right,
As a part of that resolution by the ZBA and the planning board for this particular subdivision at the time, it is the responsibility of the owner of this lot to operate, maintain, fix this spillway. So there may be some work that's associated with that spillway that needs to be done. That is in all those resolutions. The owner of the property, the owner is obviously not willing, is required to take these responsibilities on, but we're not here before this board for that.
No, there was someone here that brought up this about a year or two ago. And I think it was the state, I'm not sure who it was, saying that a lot of work had to be done to that spill. Do you know what agency that would be?
I think I've seen that correspondence. It was the New York State DEC.
DEC.
They regulate dam impoundments.
Right.
This is one of those.
Right.
So they did do an assessment, and there was work or there is work that's needed to be done.
Okay. Any questions? Anyone on the board? Anything?
Well, I mean, earlier you said that this work couldn't be done.
Well, that's right, because, I mean, I think the chair could probably speak to it. I think if we, as our client started approaching various people along the road, there was manifest unwillingness to go around to their properties or to their front lawns. So there was, we were made aware that there would be opposition, serious opposition.
Sure.
And there's also, I don't believe there's a maintenance agreement in place for this road, which makes it even more difficult.
Yeah. So in 2000, widen, resurface, and drainage work. So nothing was done because it would be pushed back from the homeowners, which I understand.
Well, we don't understand why nothing was done.
Yeah.
Today.
Fast forward 25 years. Yeah.
But excuse me, Jeff, in 2000, that was an application for a subdivision to create the 3 lots that are in the road there, 14.1, 4.2, 14.21, and 14.22. Is it those 3 lots that were created back
I
then?
have to double check. I thought it was just, it might have been, I'm not sure about the one that you mentioned in the middle. I know for sure it's 14.1. Yeah. It was either these 3 or these 2, one or the other.
Yeah, because I thought I read that it was a 3-lot subdivision, but 2 of them, it was odd, I couldn't follow. 2 of them needed a 280A,
What?
but there's 3 lots and they're all on a private road and none of them connect. I was scratching my head trying to understand that. I mean, I don't think it's really relevant to get into that level of detail,
But it's interesting.
it is, and the reason I thought of it though is just at the time of the variance that was granted, all these other lots up and down Dry Hill Lake Road existed and were not owned by the applicant at the time. And so somebody would have needed permission from the adjoining property owners to widen the road back then, right? Maybe I'm asking part of the history that you don't know, but.
Were you saying that he would have needed the same permission for
Right.
probably is that, can we surmise?
I guess we're surmising maybe that's why it never happened.
Right. Maybe
It's a guess,
the
but-
inspector understood that and.
I'm looking at the resolution for both the planning board and the ZBA notes, interestingly enough, lots 14.1 and 14.2, which differ in tax map numbers of what they currently are shown today. If you go to Orange County GIS and type them in, 14.2 shows up as this one. We believe that is the 14.1 that they're referring to, is that tax map number is not changed.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the planning board resolution of January 9, 2001, and it says subdivision allowed the creation of a total of 3 parcels out of a 7.059 acre parcel.
I also believe that, and I don't know if this has anything to do with it, lot 14.21, I believe owned 14.21 and 14.22.
That would make sense, and that's why you have, this very well may be the parent parcel, and 14.21 and 22 were either, well, no, this was probably 14.2, and this became 14.21, 14.22.
Yeah.
So that's 2 lots. The 3rd lot that they're discussing, not 100% sure, but I'm not sure it's actually relevant to the application, but.
Yeah, I don't think it is, but it's just trying to piece together what may have happened.
Zach, have you been down Dry Hill Lake Road in a while?
Oh, yeah, Dry Hill Lake Road is not in great condition by any.
So you're gonna say the surface, the road itself?
No, and it's not a wide road by any means.
No, I know it's not wide, but, you know, and I can understand them not wanting
To widen it.
to widen it and all,
Yeah.
but what about the road itself?
You gotta go slow down it, for sure. I mean, it's not in great condition. I mean, it's not terrible, I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it's not something that, based on what they just brought in, saying that it needed to be widened and updated, I haven't seen any of that. You know, in my time living in the town, it's always been kind of a choppy road.
Yeah. That's what
Kind of a short,
that's what
choppy
I
road
heard.
as well.
That's what I-
And then my worry is, if we put this road in and nobody fixes it, what's preventing 101-1-1-31 from then building? So now you have all of these houses that would be on a short, choppy road.
No, that would come before the planning board. That,
Well, I'm sure it would have to go to the planning board,
and,
but
and,
it's,
and that road would, that particular parcel would need it.
yeah.
At that time and period, they would need to deal with the planning board in terms of what the potential.
No, certainly, I
And
understand
then
the
it would
project.
also mean relief from this board for 288 as well.
Yeah.
That's what we're asking for, relief, just for this lot for 288.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, if you want to talk about your experience with the fire chief,
Yeah, again, the fire chief has had, I think he said, 2 or 3 fires here recently. And he had no exceptions to the condition of the road, wanted 2 potholes filled in. He noted that there were some low-hanging, or probably cable lines that he wanted to see raised so that his ladder doesn't get hooked on.
Yeah.
We even looked at the cul-de-sac, said we wanted to pay for the cul-de-sac. It wasn't anything of his concern to be at the cul-de-sac. The third thing we talked about was, there's a pond over there, because at this time right now, the hydrants in most of Monroe don't operate for fire purposes. So I talked about the potential for putting in a dry hydrant for him at the cul-de-sac here that would connect to the pond, they could tie a pumper truck into, and maybe potentially use for fire suppression service requirements. But I'm not sure if that's feasible because the pond has to be kind of deep in order for that to work, and I'm not sure if it might not be more than about 4 or 5 feet deep. So I mean, we'll look into that, but again, that's more of a planning matter.
Yeah.
But these were the discussions I had with the chief of police.
Which fire company gave you this feedback?
Monroe Joint Fire District.
Right, you said you spoke to the chief. Was it the Allen Fire Company? Was it the
Chief
Montbation Fire
Flanagan.
Company? I'm sorry?
Chief Flanagan. It would be from Montbation.
Okay, Montbation.
I was just talking to council there, just to see if I was missing something. Going back to the beginning of 2000. So you know, it's a widened road, resurface, some type of drainage work, right? It didn't happen, and I can understand about the lots being pushed back on the lots, not to give up their yard, because they're not huge there, and take away that. But, so I can understand the widening not happen, but I just don't understand why the resurfacing and the drainage, whatever, didn't occur.
I don't know.
Is that a just question? Do you see where I'm coming
Yes,
from?
I don't know that the resurfacing did not occur. I suspect that the only thing that happened was that it did occur. It just didn't occur for the 22.5 feet width that they required. I think they might have just resurfaced the 17 to 18 foot existing width.
And when you say resurface, well, is there a category of resurface? Is it, what are we doing, just rolling it with item number 4, or is it paved, you know what I'm
I
saying?
don't even know if I could comment on
Yeah.
that. I mean, what I can tell you is that it very well is probably just a resurfacing, so whatever the existing road condition was. Well, it notes here, again, on the ZBA decision from September 13, 2000, the southeastern end of Dry Hill Lake Road. It will resurface Dry Hill Lake Road from the northwesterly property line of Lot 1 through the cul-de-sac terminus, southeastern edge of Dry Hill Lake Road, with 6 inches of compacted item 4, as shown again on the Raymond plan. I mean, that's all I can tell you. What do I think happened out there? I don't know that the road was ever milled, but I don't know if the existing surface was removed, additional item 4 was placed, and then it was resurfaced. My guess is at best, it was either milled and or repaved. Just the surface, that's what it is. And considering the age of the road, and my last visit there, for it to only have 2 potholes is actually not too bad. And they were actually towards the bottom section of also worth
bottom meaning towards the cul-de-sac.
the one was probably somewhere around this area here, lot like 2 and 3.
Right.
The other one was probably somewhere in this area, 50 feet above the intersection of Orchard Lake and Dry Hill Lake Road.
Downhill on the slope
Yeah.
that's most used.
It's also worth noting that somewhere around this area, there's actually a change in grade. So from here backwards, the water drains this way. So it's sort of slightly deceiving. You would think potentially all of this drains that way. It does not. Probably 2/3 of the road drains towards Orchard Lake, maybe slightly less. The rest of it drains towards the cul-de-sac back here.
I'll have to take a look at it.
I'm gonna have to look at it.
Yeah, I'll go out and
Yeah.
trip a
Because it's
second.
going, I know it cuts through, I know Orchard Drive is quite a
Yeah.
steep road. It's, you know, the development was Skyview Hills, and it is hilly. And I know Dry Hill Lake cuts through that. But yeah, I'll have to go out and look at it. Are we gonna need permission, Noreen, to go and look at this and walk through here?
And I believe they signed the form, they're releasing you to be able to go.
Okay.
There's not an issue, is there, Mike or Dan?
Visit the site?
Yeah.
No, I think, again, I think.
Yeah, I believe they signed the consent.
Yeah, no, I
form.
just wanted to make sure.
Do you want to arrange a site visit, I mean, with us, or?
If you let me know time.
Yeah, I'll just, I don't, unless anyone else on the board, wants it, I don't need,
Yeah, I don't.
I know it pretty well.
Where does the road end? What lot? I mean, is the road
I
go
mean,
all the way through?
the
Yeah,
road, the road, the road
goes all the way
ends,
through. What's it proposed? Oh,
the road ends roughly around the beginning of lot 14, give or
Yeah.
take.
Okay,
And then what happens is there's basically a ground item 4 cul-de-sac.
okay, but it doesn't
But the
connect.
paved section ends.
But it doesn't, you're asking if it connects to Orchard Lake.
It doesn't connect.
No.
That would be no
Yeah,
part, yeah.
it does not connect. You know, there's pretty steep topography in that location. Lot 14 is pretty steep, and the house is set up pretty high. Not the easiest thing to connect.
It used to connect.
Did it?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It used to connect. But way back then, it was a dirt road,
Yeah.
you know, just, and all over here, 101-1-1.31, that was all a summer camp
Oh, okay.
up top there.
What's the status with SECRA with the planning board? Like, where are you with the planning board, and how do you view SECRA in this whole thing?
I submitted an EAF, and I don't think I think they just referred it over to you.
I have to double check and see. I'm not even sure we were able to circulate for the agencies, so we might have to do this kind of like as a.
What are you looking for? What's the relief at the planning board that you need? What are you looking for there? Because it's a single-family home, right?
We meet all zoning bulk regulations. This is not an issue for the lot development. This is simply the 288 that's before the board.
Right, but you're at the planning board for something. Like, what are you at the planning board
We're actually
for?
leaving, we're not before the planning board for subdivision approval because technically, according to the planning board resolution and the ZBA resolution, we had to come back to the planning board for the development of this lot. And when that lot is finally developed, it's just filed with the Orange County.
So I'm sorry, it's not connecting in my brain, so it's my fault. So, but you got subdivision approval back then, or you did not?
No, if you look at the resolutions from the planning board, what it said was that if there's any development on, they're calling this lot 3 of the subdivision.
Oh, okay.
Okay, don't get confused with that 3 again, that's the blocking of the section blocking lot. That if anything is required for lot 3 moving forward, then we had to come back to
For the development, so you have approval of the subdivision, but for the development, you have to go back, essentially for a site plan?
It's actually.
Not even.
It's subdivision, for some odd reason, it's still subdivision. So we have to, because that lot was never developed, so it said that if they developed lot 3, we'd have to come back to the planning board for that subdivision approval. We would actually file this lot with the Orange County Clerk. Because right now, it's filed as a not to be built on lot.
Oh,
Unless we come back to the planning board and deal, I think the major concern there was being able to hook up to Orange County Sewer District number 1, if I'm not mistaken, according to the resolution. So maybe at that time, there wasn't capacity, or there wasn't a means to do it, I'm not sure, but that's why we had to come back. And then when we came back to the planning board, the ZBA resolution came back, and they asked if these improvements were done, and so they did not. So here we are before this board again.
So you just threw me a curveball there. In the original subdivision of 2 or 3 lots, whatever it was stipulated that this lot was approved as not to be built on lot.
Yeah, I'll read it to you right away. It says, this is the resolution, that the land is subdivided is of such character that the lots designated for residential purpose can safely be used as proposed for building purposes without danger or health or safety of fire, flood, or menace. And that lot 3, this particular lot in question, which is designated as not for residential purposes in the absence of a sewer permit from Orange County Sewer District number 1 and without planning board approval, has been viewed and would also be safely used as a building lot for provision of sewer services. So you had to come back to the planning board for the development of that lot, because in the original subdivision, it was deemed not for residential purposes. So now that we're making it for residential purposes, we technically would have to refile that map with the county when it's done, because the original map showed it as not for residential purposes. If we get an approval from the planning board for residential purposes, we have to refile that to amend the original subdivision map. Does that make it clear?
it does, yeah, that could, thank you.
If you have trouble, I don't know how the town's filing system is, but if you need copies of any of these older resolutions, let us know.
Yeah, I know I have the 2 that you submitted, the planning board resolution and the zoning board resolution. I read the planning board quickly, I focused on the zoning board, obviously, for tonight, but, so I didn't pick up what you were saying, but now I understand it. Although I'm not sure, again, so back how it originally came up, secret-wise, is this an unlisted action? Like what, I mean,
You know,
Is it a
it's an
coordinated
interesting question,
review?
David. I think arguably, I'm wondering if it's type 2, because, I mean, you know, area variances for single-family homes are type 2 actions.
right,
It's an interesting issue, it's kind of like you fit under that.
right, I don't think I can't remember the last time I looked at that issue, but we don't have to solve that tonight, but maybe you and I can talk about what the legalities of it are so we can navigate through.
It's a type 2 ordinance, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
That's certain.
I certainly it's one or the other. I don't. It's not a type 1. So, and then the question's going to become, you know, if it's type 2, everybody's in the clear. Both boards are in the clear. If it's a type, if it's an unlisted, then we'll have to figure out what is, you know, typically, obviously, the planning board would undoubtedly be the lead agency, and then we'd have to do a coordinated review and kind of balance.
Well, we don't necessarily need to do.
Well, that's true. We don't have to, but we'd have to. Both boards would have to be cognizant of the secret issues.
Yes, yeah, no, and I don't think, right, I mean, I think the planning board's waiting for this board to act or, you know, come back to it, so.
So actually, that's, one of the things that that one of the reasons I'm bringing it up is exactly that, figuring out what the secret situation is going to impact what this board could do and what that board can do and in what order.
Well, again, but it doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily need to be, even if we discover it's not a type 2 action and it's unlisted, they can do uncoordinated
We
review.
could, it could be declared and then it's an uncoordinated action. Uncoordinated review, obviously. So, right now, you don't have plans specific plans to be back at the planning board until something more definitive happens here?
Correct.
Okay.
All right, if there's no other questions, comments, anyone? We can go ahead and schedule this for, you guys don't need to see anything else?
No.
I mean, I think we should look at how we should probably look at how this is draining, if we're saying that it's draining a specific way that we're not really all agreeing on. Also, we're kind of looking at a lot that wasn't supposed to be built on because it doesn't have any sewer and the road isn't proper. So there's three things kind of counting against it. So I really would like to take a look at this lot and see what's going on here instead of
Just to be clear, I mean, it wasn't, I think at that time, with the planning board, it wasn't that they said it was never unbuildable. What they said is it just needs certain conditions to be met,
Yeah.
including the issuance of a sewer permit.
Well, the sewer permit and then the roadway, you're saying, which is 17 feet, needs to be 22, and the neighbors aren't seemingly willing to wiggle.
The roadway widening was for all 3 lots. And like I said, for whatever reason, the other 2 lots were built without compliance with that condition. And it's worked for the past 25 years.
But that's why you're here.
Yeah.
That's, you're looking for
Yes.
relief of the road.
Yes,
And drainage.
yes.
And sewer.
Well, the
We
drainage,
can't have any relief for sewer. So we have to apply to Orange County Sewer District.
Right.
for approval.
Is there sewer, are you gonna have a plan to get sewer? I mean, I assume you'd have to, right?
Yes, if you look at the graded utility plan, it's showing where the sewer connection would be. And as soon as we have an idea from this board if this relief can be granted or not, our next step would probably be to go back to the planning board and apply to Orange County Sewer District number 1 at the same time for a sewer permit connection. There is capacity. It takes a while these days to get a permit. But I can't waste OCSD number 1's time and effort if we don't have a relief, because then we may not be in a different position.
Gotcha.
So just to be clear, to beat a dead horse, the original subdivision was supposed to widen, resurface, and do some type of drainage.
well,
And it never happened, for whatever reason.
and the drainage improvements, I think, we're sort of scratching our heads on, because it said to raise the drains.
Yeah, but it was spoke, right, I'm just trying to keep it as simple.
Sure.
So the
Yes.
original subdivision, we're supposed to do this work,
Right.
and it didn't happen. So now, right, for whatever reason, time passes, this lot here is looking to build, and looking for us to say, yeah, it's okay not to do the road widening, the resurface, and the drainage. That was supposed to happen in a complete subdivision, right? Just so we're all
Yeah.
clear on
Yes,
what's
and I confused myself, sewer has nothing to do with this.
No, sewer is nothing, they have to apply,
Yeah.
and that's what he just said, it's a lot,
It's
and why go through that?
It would be a condition of the planning board approval to get a permit for Orange County Sewer District.
Okay. Everyone clear?
Yes.
All right, so we just schedule a.
Yeah, you make a motion.
Make a motion to set up a public hearing for July, when, Maureen?
July 22nd.
For July 22nd for this project? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys, appreciate it.
Good night.
Have a good night, stay cool.
Cool.
And Gabe, you would, between now and then, why don't you look into that secret issue?
I'll look at the
It's
secret
that
issue,
two-
yeah, I'll circle back.
Yeah,
Thank
okay.
you.
No, I have to do notice Monday to the, address. Give me about a week.
Be nice if there was a little air in this.
Yeah, but I'm going on vacation.
I say open the door.
Yeah, I'll have.
Well, I didn't listen.
Yeah, you're a small man. The visionary, somebody.
You know, it just came to me.
Yes.
I think if you have a seat.
Good mic.
it's an excuse, but that's-
I believe so, there's a chairman though.
All right, is Di here now?
No.
Oh.
There.
Is, Zickerman here?
Yes.
All right, next up, it's a public hearing for Zickerman. All right, all thrown off now. How you doing?
Very good, man, how are you? First of all, I'd like to thank you for making it happen. I know great survey and everything, and I really, really appreciate pushing it today.
Yeah. You're happy for us getting it in today, is that what you said?
Good mic.
You guys did not.
And, maybe also happy that, we waited for you to come here so early?
Could you go to the installation of that?
Yeah, how much?
It's,
So, by the time I didn't know where the courthouse is, I went to
Oh.
another place, and then I come back.
That's Mr. Zimmer.
Survey.
That's fantastic.
Oh, what did you know?
You like that?
That's really nuts.
I prefer this place. Just put right through it.
Oh, all right.
is that the revised on the coverage table and seal?
Check it out. Yeah, the coverage table should be up top. All righty, this is a public hearing, right? So I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to open this public hearing.
Second that.
All those in favor?
I,
Aye. All right. So last time here, could you give us your name is?
Jacob Zipper.
Jacob. So give us a happy recap of why you're here again for this public hearing.
I filed a application for a short-term rental. And they told me that I have to get a variance for the house because the house is only 25, normally it has to be 40 feet from the street, from the property line. So I gave him the application with a survey. Last time I think the table wasn't on it, and also you guys have some pictures.
Right.
Also, some pictures and the variance of some pictures.
Give it to the attorney or the chairman.
It's a few doubles, maybe.
Yep.
They were in the emails as well.
Right, so we asked for a survey with the embossment on it and the coverage calculation on it, right? Because you're here in front of us for the front yard variance and the lot coverage variance, right?
Yes.
The existing front setback is 25.9 from the front property line This is an encroachment of 14.1 feet. This is a pre-existing condition, correct?
Yes.
And the lot coverage is also pre-existing. So and how long ago did you purchase this property?
2019?
2019? Is the property sit as is when you purchased it? Did you add anything to it, patio, and not just the structure, but walkways? What did you add since you bought it?
I add the wood deck in the back, 38.44 by 8.50.
Right.
That's the only thing that I add, and I got to that.
So then everything else would be calculated, so your surveyor came out and that wood deck is within the calculation, and that's the only thing that you would have changed?
That's correct.
And I don't think he needs a coverage variance,
Well,
right? I think Ben, at least the way I'm reading it, like Ben was pointing out that he couldn't tell because it wasn't on the survey. And then it looks like he then put it on the survey and measured it to be 8.8%. Am I reading that right?
I don't know. Because it's a pre-existing condition, right? So that's why I was asking if we went into it with a lot coverage as a pre-existing, what was added that would have added more to the coverage? So I'm not 100% sure what you're,
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, the way I was reading Ben's letter was to say, the lot coverage max is 15%, but he doesn't know what the existing conditions were because the existing survey that was originally submitted to Ben didn't specify. But I think the survey that we now have seems to be, if I'm reading it right, is specifying it as only 8.88%, which is well within the 15%.
right?
Right, so I don't think that's a variance that's required.
No, lot coverage would be 20% at the bottom.
Well, oh, where do you see that?
Very bottom right.
You have building coverage and lot coverage.
Oh, lot coverage, building coverage percentage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're at 28.8%.
Lot coverage, okay.
So you're over by 3.8%.
Got it, yeah, so he's,
Or he's over by 80, right, because isn't it 15?
It's 15.
Oh, it's 15. I-
15%, so he's over by 8. Right, because I would be surprised, because that driveway looks substantial. The concrete walkways, the deck would be in question because it's a covered porch. Right, we get into that whole,
Yeah.
that whole pervious BS,
Yeah.
right? So,
does anybody know why Ben, like, is it a typo or is there a difference in the code? He lists a 25%,
not to exceed,
not to exceed 25%.
but, yeah, it's,
Why does he,
Where do you see that? Oh, yeah.
In his
In
letter.
the red, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it says lot coverage 15, less than.
So since 2019, all you did was add that wooden deck, and now you need this variance because you're going to be looking to do a short-term rental.
Yes.
That's your main plan, right?
Yeah.
That one-story frame was there when you bought it.
Yes.
It's a nice-looking home.
and the record should reflect that the applicant handed up 9 photos, and they're all the same photos that you've seen in the emails.
Yes.
It's, a lot of the 9 are duplicative of each other.
A different angle, a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's this discrepancy.
I think it's a typo.
Yeah. And I don't think, at this point, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Any more questions from from people here on the board, members of the board?
I just want to be clear, with your structure, you had about 25%.
Yeah,
Okay, no, that's
it's,
my question.
lot coverage should, lot coverage
Yeah.
should be 15%.
But not.
We're at 20-something%, but in his existing condition, do not exceed 25%.
Okay.
So going forward, after, to see if there's any other comments here, we would need to get clarification from the building inspector on what exactly is being said there.
What is the requirements?
For, I think any of us to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 25%.
I mean, the back, I think it's 25%.
I thought in this SR it's 25.
All right, is there anyone in the audience that has a comment or a complaint or anything on this project?
I think there's also one thing, the 25.9, it's the front part also.
Yes, that's the main one that I think no one doubts that you need, right?
Yeah.
You're providing 25.9 from that front little cutout,
Right.
and you need 40.
Yeah, on the front, on the setback. And that's pre-existing, just like all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm a little dumbfounded,
1 acre with that, so
but welcome to my world.
15%.
All right, there's no other comments. I'm gonna, you don't have to make a motion to keep this open.
You don't, no.
I wanna keep this public hearing open. Come back July 22nd, and hopefully we can get some clarification from, on the lot coverage from the building inspector. So nothing, you've given us everything we asked for, it's appreciated, but there's a discrepancy, there's something that's not consistent about this lot coverage.
But if something, where do you see the 25%?
You don't know what the central
In
sewer
his letter.
facilities.
In his letter,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't see it there, yes.
Does he put a bulk table on his survey? I mean, like, with the required dimensions, not just what's provided?
I don't mean what was calculated.
No, what, like,
Oh, no, this is all I see.
It might be Black brought this up here, the 25 versus the 15, but it stipulates it as far as central sewer facilities.
Where are you at?
We got 15%,
Yeah.
1 acre without central sewer facilities, or 25% with central sewer facilities, 1 acre. We'd have to find out.
Yeah, they're also here, existing conditions, 25.9 requires ZBA variance,
Right,
Yeah.
right?
but as I say, again, 15,
Yeah.
like, we have to confirm with Ben as far as the central sewer facilities.
Yeah, no, you're right.
For that,
Yeah.
This is 20% lot coverage, not 28. Because he adds the structure, the driveway, the steps, and the total building coverage.
Who did that?
Only 20.
Yeah, so it is only 20%. It's just kind of
Yeah,
confusing.
right. When you get down where he goes the total.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah, he
20% coverage.
captures it all, yeah.
So then we have to figure out if it's 15 or 25% based on Ben writing both numbers.
Right.
That's what we're
right, because if
on.
it's 25%, then he doesn't need a
It is,
variance, doesn't need any relief on that at all,
Yeah.
other than the front yard.
But
But
why
Ben,
would it be 25%? It should be 15%.
that, I think it, I don't know personally, but we gotta talk to Ben, because he says 15% on the very front of the document, and then a sentence later says 25%.
If I may ask,
Yeah.
is there any way we can split it up and do the 25.9 and then we go from that for Ben? And close out the front variance line?
I mean, yeah, and I'm looking on the bulk table. I mean, like, you could assume, like, a different way to proceed would be, you know, again, it all depends on which way you're thinking and feeling about the application, but, you know, you could assume that it's 15, and that it does need a variance to allow a 20 and a 15. And if you were also inclined to proceed in that way right now, that's something that you could maybe talk about, say, look, if any of you, for example, if none of you had any problem with the 20, right? And, you know, we could clear that up with Ben after the fact. You could vote, you know, again, hypothetically, to grant that variance and the front yard variance. And if it turns out that that variance isn't required, well then, you know, I'll draft a resolution to do away with that, because we'll say, well, we didn't need it because the number was 25.
Okay.
Right? I mean, that's something that you could do if that's the way you were feeling. If you've got a problem with it at 20 and want to get it down to 15, you know, then you have to wait, because then we've got to find out, well, what does the code say? Right? Does the code say, if the code says 25, it doesn't matter if you have a problem with 20. It complies. Right. So those are the alternatives.
So, how, with everything council just laid out, how is the board feeling? Are you feeling that, I know how I'm feeling. Are you feeling that we can go ahead and come to some kind of judgment here tonight, and, you know, which way it goes, we can put the stipulations that council just laid out? You guys feel good about that?
Can I just ask for clarification?
Sure.
We don't have to do survey in front of us, so it's saying it's either 15 or 25. Well, what is the total lot coverage right now? 23.8 or 28.8?
No, it's 20, we do, you didn't get the new survey?
It was only one.
Oh, here, send this down.
Oh, here we go.
It's 20.
Oh, there was one.
There's one
I
of
thought we
the,
wanted to do it telepathically.
you and I would have liked to see that. And I think you could do it.
All right, so.
Chip, I'll need that original survey back for the file.
Oh, do you? The big one?
Yeah, I need that on the file.
That you folded up all nice.
No, we put it in that.
There's one way to hold the survey mark, they should all know that.
Here's the
No. As far as what? Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing you can do with the front yard. And it's pre-existing. Yeah.
See, nothing else on the agenda?
You see nothing? It's all right.
That's the only thing I think.
Going, going.
Yeah.
Hey, down that big map.
How you know what?
Has to go in the file.
You want to talk about the 5 factors? You want to
I
bring
say,
that?
I say we do 5 factors, and if it comes back that the code is 15%, then we gotta come back before us, let's get the mitigation.
Council, just
So why don't we talk about them, with the hearing open, obviously.
right.
Yeah.
Keep it open, so.
Yeah, and that way you discuss it on the record, but then we can figure out what to do from there. So everyone knows it's a balancing test weighing the benefit to the applicant against any detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the community by reason of the grant of the variances, guided by 5 factors. The first is whether there be an undesirable change produced in the character of the neighborhood or any detriment to nearby properties caused by the variance grant.
No.
Number 2 is whether there's a feasible alternative to achieve the benefits sought without the granting of a variance.
No.
No.
Next is whether the variance sought is substantial.
No, because something is pre-existing.
Next is whether there be an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental condition to the neighborhood or district.
No.
And then last is whether the condition was self-created, the difficulty was self-created.
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so, practice
So I guess with that being said, I I'd like to go ahead and make a, because I can do this and we can close it afterwards, right?
Why don't you,
I'll make a
well, look,
motion.
yeah, I mean, look, you can talk about it out loud. It
Yeah.
sounds like, I'll kind of guide you a little bit. It seems like obviously everybody, all the factors line up that it would be a 5-0 vote in favor of, and that's including both the front yard and the lot coverage. Assuming the lot coverage variance is even required, yes?
Yeah,
Correct.
but the applicant has to ask us nicely.
So,
Yeah,
so then what I would do is, why don't we take, we could just, the only conditions that I can think of would be the two basics, which are payment of all due fees and compliance with all the laws, rules, and regulations. So it would be a motion to approve the variances sought, the two variances sought, on those two conditions, to the extent that the lot coverage variance is even required. Okay, and then I can deal with it. If that's the motion, then I can deal with it in the resolution.
we're clear there. I just wanted to know, can I do that while it's still open, or do you want me to close it first?
I think you should close it.
Okay, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to close this public hearing.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
With that being said, with this public hearing closed and meeting all the 5 factors, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve this variance with all due stipulations and information coming back to us for clarification on, from the building inspector on the difference in his lot coverage. All those in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to go ahead now and make a motion to have council prepare all the proper paperwork for this motion and to have the chairman sign it.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hey, next time be on time, huh? That's all, we don't ask for a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.
Take care.
Alrighty, next up, we will go with Paul, how do you say it,
Cecilia.
Sicily?
Yes,
Sorry for butchering that.
that's right, don't worry. A lot of people do, they say
Yeah,
Cecilia.
yeah. How you doing this evening?
Gentlemen? Great.
Good?
How about yourself?
Yeah, good. Say your names.
Paul Cecilia?
Road Sicily.
Rose, you speak a little louder.
Road Sicily.
Thank you. So, new project in front of us, and I see Ben's letter, so why don't you give us,
Synopsis?
yeah, while you're here,
Um,
like your shirt.
thank you. I actually got it in Hawaii.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
How long ago?
What's it made of? No, what is this? Polyester?
We've owned the house since 1999. We did an addition starting in 2004. As you can see with some of the plans that we had submitted to you. We had a contractor that went with a document down to the old building inspector, said I got approval to put the porch on. Okay, no problem. At that time, I believe the coverage was in 2004 was at 40%, and also was a 15-foot side setback. I could be wrong, but this is what we were told. The building department came out and looked at the footings and everything else, so this is going on since 2004. We're trying to close the permit for that. We had to reissue the permit because of the violation of being the side setback being less than 30 feet because it's a covered porch. Same with the shed. The shed's been up there since 2000. And again, I got bogus information that as long as, if it's on piers, you didn't have to get a building permit, which I found out later. We got the building permit. We had the electrical inspection for the shed. Unfortunately, it's when we did the first survey, I had them string a line, and I measured from the line. And it's, if you look at it, I believe it's 3 inches off of what the setback's supposed to be. It's 5 feet for a shed, and it's at 4.9.
So the shed on your survey, they're calling a garage,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So you're 4.9,
Inches over from, which is the lot, I can't see the number, but that is a wooded lot, an undeveloped lot, and then the lower part of that is where the side porch, looking at the, I'm gonna say the right-hand porch of the porch.
the covered porch with the 14.2 setback,
Correct.
right above the septic tank, right?
Yes, it's not above it, it's.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying on the,
It's on the same, yes.
yeah, on
Whatever.
two-dimensional.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah.
No, it's okay.
There are some pictures that we have.
Yeah, let me see.
Yes.
I apologize, I only made one copy.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
No.
I had them on my phone and my photographer had left. So she
So
went to get them.
that's the covered porch then?
That is that's
In the back of the
setting
house.
from the back of the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other picture is if you were looking from the porch out into the lot.
Okay.
Showing you that it's vacant lot.
All righty. And then this would be shed slash garage?
Correct, it just has a garage, yeah, it's a shed.
What are the dimensions of that you?
It's 16 by 16. And I think it's covered, we have a, pardon me.
And then what is this,
That's-
looking into the woods?
Looking into that
Yeah,
empty lot, that we,
vacant
it's a question that,
property.
yeah.
Right. So just to go back, so
Sure.
you own this property since when?
1999.
1990, it's been a party, it's 1990.
Lived in the neighborhood almost all my life.
Yeah,
Same neighborhood.
say you've been there. So,
We applied for a building permit in 2004.
2004, and you got the permit, and then you had a contractor come in, and he did the work for the covered porch and the garage?
No, the garage was done already.
The garage
Yes.
was done?
I actually built it myself.
Okay,
Because-
without a permit?
Correct, because I got bogus information. They told me if it was on stilts, you
Yeah.
didn't have to get a building permit. And again,
But you mentioned that you
If it
did go
doesn't
back and one
match
time to get a permit?
we do have a permit.
You do have a permit?
Yeah, and it was a permit, and I believe it's closed, and I'm not 100%. But if I'm coming in front of the zoning board, I might as well complete both actions because it is in violation.
Yeah, I don't know how they're closed. Why?
Oh, I'm sorry, the electrical inspection was closed.
Yeah,
So, and I think it's, I'm not sure if Ben closed it or
I
not,
don't.
because
I
this
don't
survey
think
had
Right,
gotten
yeah.
to them after the fact of going through the process.
Okay.
So,
Either way, the garage is 3 inches over, right? Is that what we're saying on the garage there?
correct.
what is it, what are we talking about, 5-foot setback?
It is, yes.
And you're at 4, so you're at 10?
Yeah, I'm at 4'9".
You're 3 inches over.
Or is it 1.2 inches? Because it says 4.9 feet.
Yeah. that's-
0.9 feet is not 9 inches.
No,
That's,
surveyors work in tenths, so that's what I'm saying. is-
it's an inch and a half.
So you're 10th in violation. We're just gonna keep it, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that that's.
Yeah,
what I figured.
yeah.
I just-
No, that's what they're working in.
Yeah, you wanted us to physically move it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm here for the other project, I might as well include that in that.
Can I
And
see
so
a
it's
picture
all,
of the garage again, please?
Of course.
it actually had the original door from my garage prior to us doing the addition. And then I upgraded the door because it was wood, it was from 1930, actually 1945, the original door that I had put back when they were recycling from my house before we did the addition. So I put it in up there because it didn't have anything, but yeah, we went with it. But it's really a shed, you can't park a car in it.
Yeah.
By no means.
And
It's,
you say you have electric to it?
yes, and that has a final electrical inspection for that. I had to add a ground rod for that, for the violation I was given, and the plate covers for the outlets and the switches.
Is there any other heat source except for running
There is
something
no
electrical?
heat source there. Trust me, it's very cold in the winter.
Yeah.
Project. And then, you know what? It's very hot in the summer.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So the bottom line is what the building inspector did was we reissued the permit for that because the other one expired.
Then,
That, yes.
So what else, so we're also looking at, so I see the garage, I see the covered porch. But what are we talking about, the front yard here?
Well, if you could, I'm gonna explain. So we didn't do, if you look at I brought the old plans, or my addition plans, if you guys would like to see them.
Yeah,
They're in rough condition. I'm sorry.
yeah.
If you,
Talk us through it.
oh, sure, no problem. So if you look at the house in general, you have the pictures, it's 3 houses, and I'm looking from the road. So the porch is on the right, the garage, the 2-car garage is on the left with the room upstairs. The main building, which was the original house, did an addition up top on 2004. I'm sorry, it's for reading, it's making me dizzy. And to the right was a partial addition. We actually had an outbuilding when we purchased the house that was our kitchen and the way to get upstairs. So there was a partial upstairs. So all this property, we did not encroach any. The setback was at 30 feet when we bought the house. So it's not
On the front yard.
correct.
So this is 50, front yard 50, the northwest corner of the house is 34.7, this is an encroachment of 15.3, so that's a pre-existing condition.
Yeah, the house was built in 1939.
So it's the same thing with your side yard, no, the side yard is because of the porch,
Correct.
not pre-existing lot coverage, and lot area.
Yeah,
So
when-
your lot area is 1 acre, 43,560. Your 4 lots combined have 43,000, just under 236 is a difference of 324 because of pre-existing non-conforming conditions. So the lot area coverage is pre-existing.
Correct.
Is that what you're seeing on that too?
The lot area is pre-existing, just a couple hundred feet below the required.
Yes.
The lot coverage is,
Yes.
it's 30.9, but there's something about, you're gonna reduce something by taking away some tents or something like that?
Yeah, great. So if we look at this document, I don't know if you guys have a copy of it, but, sorry. This lot is also mine, but it's not included on the survey because I did not own it.
This lot here, the angled lot?
This one right here, Sicily.
Oh, okay.
It's not calculated in this formula. It's 25 by 101. Not that it's significant, but, and what I was trying to do was we were trying to purchase the property that encroaches and it's in trust. My neighbor actually has dementia. I was talking to him for months about it. Yeah, we'll get to it. It was great. I didn't know he had dementia. And then I had to talk to the grandkids. So we were in court with this. It's sustained since last year.
You're talking about that little lot?
I'm talking about the lot in,
This one?
no, sir. This one right here.
Oh, this one.
Yes. It's in trust.
This is Leroy Underdock, living.
Correct, yes. He's been my neighbor. I know,
Yeah.
he goes by Mo, but his legal name is Leroy. So I was speaking to him, and then I actually called his grandson I was trying to make it economical that I would not have to have a setback. I would own the lot, and it would be fine. It would give me also more lot coverage. But one of the parties does not want to do anything with it now.
All right.
It's their lot, So then we filed with this, I don't know, a month and a half ago, was it?
Something like that.
So this this is quite a conglomerate of lots, huh? This parcel.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
No,
back in the day, this is all a bungalow community.
Yeah. No, I know.
But you required four 25 by 100 lots to put up your summer bungalow.
Yeah.
And, just like Osseo Park and a lot of the other bungalow communities, everybody's bought them, they were cheaper at the time.
Yeah.
And everybody's made them year-round residents. So, the setback on this porch is we had kept it back because, I didn't want to go to the front, I wanted to give it some dimension to the house. All the buildings don't line up straight. They're inset and for some.
All right, so I backtracked there. Council, so you're gonna remove, were you gonna, or your answer to his question was, you own that lot and this is in trust, but is there something you were going to remove, or there was something temporary on?
There are 2 temporary tents on there when I have building permits, we have filed for that. The reason this all came about is I wanted to put a back building in the back lot, which is another story for another day. But I have temporary lots, but we got denied because then we found out we had the open permit still. So that's how that kind of whole story goes.
So where your temporary tents are, here, this area?
These 2, yes,
Yeah.
this is the back lot, except
Right.
for this is 2.1. I
Right.
wanted to put a steel structure with a
Right.
foundation.
That
So-
includes this area where it says area to be reclaimed as lawn?
I'm sorry?
That includes this area where it says area to be reclaimed as lawn? Right here?
Oh, well, it is because there's a temporary tent over Peak
Okay.
Apple. I had put it up for the kids to play on.
Okay.
Back in the day, actually in 2002.
So in your lot area coverage,
Correct.
those tents
No,
are
that's
within your calculations?
They are, yes, both of those are on there.
So you're proposing to remove those? Or
Thank you.
was,
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
yeah,
It was to be removed because I wanted to seek the building in the back.
okay.
I have some cars that are sitting in them as temporary, they're car tents.
So right now, like, for your site plan or your survey here,
We're speaking of this, right?
yeah, whatever this big thing here is, right?
The Lincoln Tully.
Yes, correct. I
Yeah.
have a smaller version of it.
Yeah, the Lankin Tully.
Yes, sir.
Dated last revised, May 30, 2024. It's showing like one shaded in area and one just square that's not shaded in.
So as
Both are tents and both are gonna be taken out?
Not as of now, no.
Okay.
That's,
That's what actually is bringing you here, right? Because you wanted to do aluminum building to store that.
Steel in the back,
Steel
yes.
building in a pole barn, whatever it is.
Correct.
And all of a sudden, this other crap hits the fan.
Pretty much,
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
It was in a mix a little bit, but I had asked them to come and survey the lot, because I wanted to put a building in the back, and I was denied an application for the building in the back, verbally. He says you can't do it, so when I brought those guys from Lankin Tully, I said, well, these are temporary, once I get my building up, the tents are going away.
Okay, so the building, the proposed building is not shown on here?
Correct.
Okay.
I had to get to this point to get to the next step.
He needs our variances, he needs everything to be cleaned up, he's gotta get the garage expired, he never got the CO, he got the electrical one was closed, but he didn't get the CO for that, and his porch is over along with the garage.
Yeah,
And the garage couldn't have gotten through because it was over. So, he needs that stuff cleared up before he can even approach the next phase, which would be those buildings.
Just one thing.
So, yeah, I got it, that makes sense. Except I just want level of clarity on the lot coverage. So
Yes.
right now, with the tents in place, it looks like you're at 30.9%.
Correct.
And then, so, like, are we needing, the request for variances, obviously, should say obviously, that's why I'm asking the question. We've got the pre-existing lot area,
Yes,
a couple hundred feet. We've got the front yard, which is that 34.7, it needs to be 50. We've got the side yard, that's by the shed / garage, it's labeled as a garage. It's at 14, I'm sorry, no, wrong one. That's on the covered porch, that's
yes,
14.2, you need 30.
correct.
You've got lot coverage, right now, snapshot as is right now, you've got 30.9.
Without including that other lot, it's not that much, but yes.
Right, without including that, and that lot just kind of, it doesn't, it just kind of abuts on the corner, right?
Correct.
Okay, so not including that, it's 30.9 with a 15% max. If you remove the tents and didn't do a new building, it would get you down to 28.4, but right now it's 30.9, so that's what you're asking for, 30.9.
Correct, because at the time of the permit, it was at 40% when we had filed in 2004, then they changed it in 2017, not to my knowledge at that point, for the coverage percentage.
Okay.
Right, is that correct? I think it's 2017, you went from 40 down to 15 on this, which I found out recently.
Oh, so when it was built, it was in compliance?
Correct, except for this, yes, I did, yes, including, well, it needed to be 15 feet when it was back in, we were doing this in 2004, 5, and 6, and then it's an ongoing project, when you have to fire a contractor that rips you off, you know what I mean, and then start all over again, so.
But whatever you had built, you put the tents up at some later date,
The
right?
tents are late,
So
yes.
other than the tents,
Other than the tent.
your coverage,
Everything else was there
compliant.
since 2004, or 2006, I guess would be an approximate guess.
okay.
And then we just changed slightly, however big that lot is, the other one. I don't know what the square footage is.
Yeah, you
Is
add
it-
it.
It's 25 by 101.
So is it 15, is it 15,407? Is that what it's saying? Do you know?
Yeah, it says, I'm not sure if that's, is that what that's referring
I
to?
don't know.
I don't know.
No.
If you look on the,
But I don't know,
Why is the lot coverage pre-existing?
The lot area is pre-existing because he falls just shy of the 43,560, and it says this is because of pre-existing non-conforming condition.
and technically right now, it only has one tent. The other one had got, there was that windstorm over in the spring, upturned it, even with bags of, barrels of gravel. It's, I have a new tent, but I have not placed it up yet, so
Thank you.
just FYI.
yeah, to your point, Kevin, no, the 30.9 is not all pre-existing non-conforming, right? It's because there's, at least part of it are the tents.
Well, none of the lot coverage is pre-existing. Just the lot area is pre-existing.
Just a lot area.
Yeah, the lot coverage is,
Yeah.
right,
Okay, I thought I heard again that it was 40, that it was changed down to 15.
That's what I thought I heard,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Mr.
thought I
Sicily.
heard that, okay.
Correct. It was in 2017 they changed it, because we did some research to find out when it was changed. We were under the assumption that we're at 40, but that's, you know.
yeah.
And some of the coverage is improved spaces like the driveway on the right, which if you, I don't know if anybody's been up in that area. There's a road behind, if you look in the North Point Road,
Yeah.
it's not developed. They gotta go through sheer rock to build that road.
I was actually
It's
right
kinda
there
like-
today.
What?
I was actually right there today.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that, to get to the back lot or any access, that was my access is the side. You can't, to improve that, these are private roads, just like the I mean, both cases or whatever, the guy with the dry hill or whatever. But that road is not developed, it's the guy's driveway, and there's no access. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a non-conformance because in the 30s, they never finished the project. Just like most of the roads in there, there's Forest Glen that goes through that there. It's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to, Lake Shore's supposed to go there. There's a bunch of paper, you can look at a map, there's a bunch of paper roads that are not even in existence. So.
Any other questions, guys? All right, with that being said, I don't think there's anything else. Do you want to see anything else, Kevin?
Good, yeah.
All right, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to set a public hearing for July 22nd.
Excuse me. Hold on. We were not available July 22nd. We're not going to be at.
Where are you going to be?
Hawaii?
I have a second job in this.
No, it's fine. Are you available August?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, let me get the August date, hold on.
All right, August, to be.
Not that I'm trying to push this
No,
out.
I hear you.
The August
So we got a new shirt.
26?
Yep.
Yeah, 26. All right, so I'd like to make a motion to set a public hearing for August 26th. All those in favor? Aye. And you know what the best thing about that is we're all gonna get some trinkets. I'm only kidding. Please, I'm only kidding. I'm only-
I'd like to throw the
I'm only kidding. Enjoy your vacation.
It's a working vacation for me.
Enjoy your vacation.
She's on the vacation. Yeah, I have another job at the state.
Good. Sounds good.
Is there anything that you need, anybody else needs for us for the August meeting?
Nope.
You're gonna have to do the mailings and stuff?
Yeah, it's contact.
Sure.
When do you get back from Hawaii? When do you
No,
get back?
August 2nd.
August 2nd. Hold on a second, but I need to take the mail.
No, I can have somebody send out, I did it wrong. That's not it.
Yeah, because the meeting's the 26th, you'll be back August 2nd. Contact me the first week you're back, so I can get it published in the newspaper. And then you'll have to bring the mailings
So
to
you're
the
gonna
certified return receipt.
Next to it, so Orchard Drive goes up. As soon as you go up Orchard Drive, Dry Hill is right there.
Send you
First left.
Yeah, thank you.
I know,
I have
I
to
used
use
to,
the paper.
talk to you.
It's crazy,
You know, Dr.
Benefit.
Yeah, Benefit. Well, yeah.
You lived here all your life?
Yeah,
Oh, you lived up in that area, so we've got a neighbors.
yeah, we lived, right behind, the lot behind the, quick check.
Oh, no, in that
Yeah,
whole
tell me
side.
about it, I don't know why I
No,
have
it's
to
just,
publish
as
it.
you Orchard Drive, you start going up. And then there used to be a beautiful kind
I know,
of.
White House, yeah, I know they tore it.
So they tore that all down, so that next lot behind it is where it goes. Yeah,
I know a lot of things, like where the TD Bank is,
Yeah.
it used to be a barn.
yeah.
Well, not where the TD Bank is, close
No.
to the border, but
Yeah.
yeah. Houses in Monroe on the lake, the two houses.
Progress.
Yeah. Some people call it progress.
Yeah,
but- Yeah, I know. We work with it, that's a whole big debate. I
Have a good
understand.
one.
All right, thank you very much.
Enjoy your trip.
You can go, if you're parked over there, you can go that way.
You can go there.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great night. Thank
You
you very
too.
much.
All right, circling back all the way to a public hearing of Michael Dye.
How are you?
Good, yourself, please state your name. How you doing, Michael?
Sorry for being late. I got here at 7, but
Yeah,
going around, I'm fine.
you know, there's a saying, sorry doesn't fix the lamp. It's all right. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. So what do you got, Mike? What do you got for us,
I
Michael?
have some pictures that you had asked for.
All right, let me go ahead and, thank you, put these here. Let me go ahead and make a motion to open up this public hearing. All those in favor? Aye. So, Michael, why don't you get us all caught up project?
I'm trying to get a short-term rental permit and then have a non-conforming, pre-existing non-conforming building. Being the front yard is, I believe, short.
Yeah, your front yard is, the width is 85 total, your front property line off of Walton Terrace is only 79.56, just missed it.
Yes, and also the side yard,
Yep,
15 feet, and I'm short
2.3 feet. Those are all non-conforming, pre-existing,
Yes, that's right.
right? Is there anything else sneaking by us here?
No, that's it, it's lot width,
Yeah,
providing 79.56, required 85, and side yard providing 12.7, required 15.
thank you for the pictures. Anyone on the board have any questions or comments? Hearing nothing, is there anybody in the attendance tonight that has a comment or concern on this project?
I really don't know what to ask, but.
Well, please step up to the podium
Over here.
and then state your name and
My name
your,
is Monique Blount, and I'm from 81 Walton Terrace, so I received a notice. I'm from 95. Hi, so I'm here because I want to know what's going on, so I really don't know what to ask.
okay.
But I know there was a notice that went out that there was an Airbnb
Yes, I'm
for
trying to get.
short-term rental.
Yes.
Yeah, he's applying for a short-term rental.
Okay,
So, but the town board is asking for him to come in front of the zoning board because he has two pre-existing conditions that are encroaching, and one of them is his minimum lot width and his side yard offsets. And by no fault of his, so those were pre-existing, the house was, when he got it, was there. So really, it's cut and dry on our end of what we're looking at here. But I'm sure, I shouldn't say I'm sure, Noreen, when it goes to, when he's in front of the town board, there's public hearings for that too, or?
Yes.
I believe they have a
Yes,
public
they
hearing. at the
Right.
town level.
So those will be sent out after whatever we do here.
Yes.
You'll probably get another mailing?
No,
No?
there's no mailings on it.
Oh, there's no mailing? So how does she find out about that?
It'll be on the agenda. It'll be on the town board agenda, and you can come down and speak if you like.
So she's just to keep an eye on the
Correct.
website?
so I guess the question is, so he's trying to enlarge.
No.
No.
He's not doing anything to his property. He's not doing anything to the house or anything on there. He's gonna be applying for a short-term rental usage.
Okay.
And so while he's in front of us, his house is here, this is his property line, and his house is just a little too close to this property line by no fault of his.
Oh.
And the front yardage, along
The lot width.
the lot width is just 5 feet off. Again, by no fault of his, this is the way it was when he purchased this.
Right.
So they consider that pre-existing non-conforming condition. So there will be what's in front of us now, there's no additions or no changes going on.
I was
No.
just thinking.
No, that's okay.
Thank you for getting involved. Coming
Yeah.
down.
Thank you for
Yeah,
coming.
appreciate
I'm
it.
glad we got that clarified.
Okay.
Yep, anything else?
No.
No, sorry. Thank you.
Was concerned.
I thought you were here, how do you like what I did with my hair tonight?
It's great.
I thought you like that. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
All right. No one asked you though. Alrighty, so
Get the ratings.
there's no one else. I'm gonna leave this open, and you guys feel comfortable going over the 5 factors?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's, I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion to close this public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So now that that's being closed, council, can we review the 5 factors and maybe make a determination?
Yes, so you all know it's a balancing test, benefit to the applicant against any detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the community, guided by the 5 factors, the first of which is whether there would be an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or any detriment to nearby properties produced by the variances.
No.
Say that again.
Next is whether there is any feasible alternative to achieve the benefits sought,
No.
other than a grant of variance.
No.
No.
Next is whether it is substantial.
No.
Next is whether there be any adverse effect or impact on the physical and environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district.
No.
No.
And last is whether it's self-created.
No. All right, with that being said, it's pretty clear. I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve his application for a variance.
I would just add, the standard conditions.
Yeah, with,
Payment of fees in compliance with all of the laws, rules, and regulations.
yeah, with what council just stated.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And I'd also like to make,
Motion to have
Yeah. I was going to make a motion to have council prepare all the necessary documentation and for the chairman to sign.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
You too.
Same here.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we have in front of us,
No, I need both.
what do we have to do with Home Depot?
Okay, thank you.
Home Depot,
You too.
the resolution that was drafted, and I can't remember if it was said on the record, but I drafted the resolution based upon the original application,
Yes.
where they were looking for 585 parking spots. And then at some point during the pendency, they had lowered that to 580. So the document that I drafted, including the environmental documents I drafted, all reference the 585 instead of the 580. So we've got to sort of
Amend that.
amend the approvals, and I prepared new documents, and they should be before, I think I sent them off to Noreen.
Right.
Chip has them, and yeah, all they have is that correction, and then the one thing that I forgot in the resolution, and that also that we didn't discuss explicitly in the meeting where you all granted it, there was another condition, and that was the review and approval by the Village of Woodbury Planning Board
Oh.
that we learned about the meeting prior to that meeting that you voted. So in the resolution of approval, I changed the 585 to 580 and changed all the other numbers to coincide with it, and then added that as a condition.
Right.
So, if you wanted, we could take a motion to approve the amended secret documents, do that as one motion to reflect the 580s and the 585. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve the documents that have changed from 585 to 580
On the secret.
on the secret to the Orange Street.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then a separate motion to approve the amended resolution to so reflect the proper number of spaces and the condition regarding the Village of Woodbury.
I'll make that motion for what council just said.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay?
Sounds good. And minutes. We have November. Everyone have a chance to look at the November meeting, minutes?
Yes.
All right, yeah. see, accurate and as good as usual. I saw nothing. So I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve the November 2024 minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on to January 2025 minutes. I reviewed them and saw that they were as accurate as can be with a bunch of mumbling stooges up here to get it as good as we can get it.
I'll second that.
So I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the January 2025 minutes.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to the February 2025 minutes. Again, saw nothing wrong. So I'm hearing nothing. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the February 2025 minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And let it be on the record that when I say stooges, Steve's not involved in that since he's... And when going on to March 2025 minutes, anyone see anything wrong?
No.
Me neither. So I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve the March 2025 minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That concludes the meeting. I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to adjourn this fine meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.